A dramatic final afternoon, particularly at the foot of the Premier Division, where all three clubs in danger of falling into the playoff place did occupy that position at one point or another during the afternoon. But at the end of it all, it's Hibs who will go into that two-legged playoff with Airdrie to determine who plays Premier football next season. Pat McGinley equalised for Hibs after Peter Duffield had put Raith Rovers in front. But in the end, that wasn't enough because the matches at Rugby Park and Fir Park were also drawn. Mitchell van der Gags with a 25-yarder, a crucial equaliser for Motherwell, who were 2-1 down to Dunfermline and in deep trouble with just 17 minutes left. Meanwhile, at Rugby Park, Gary Holt chose a fine time to score his first goal of the season, equalising for Kilmarnock against Aberdeen, who had gone ahead through Billy Dodds. So all three matches involving the playoff candidates were drawn, but it's Hibs who will go into that playoff with Airdrie. The details coming up for you on Afternoon Sports Scene. Kilmarnock too, the cup finalists are safe, but they too had their anxious moments this afternoon in the match against Aberdeen. Chick Young was there to see it.
Scenes of celebration mixed with scenes of relief here at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock survive in the Premier Division. They finish 1-1 with Aberdeen. It was not a classic game, but that hardly matters to 10,000 Killie fans who packed inside the ground this afternoon. The Dons ahead with a goal from Billy Dodds after 35 minutes on the end of a cross from Joe Miller. But that equaliser, which brought a huge sigh of relief from the Killie fans, came after 73 minutes. Gary Holt's first goal in 30 games for the club, and Killie were safe. They hung on till the end, and now for them, they can start celebrating tonight's survival in the Premier Division and that build-up to a Tennent Scottish Cup final at Ibrox on the 24th of this month. Full time at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 1.
Let's round up the final league tables of the season. Rangers champions in the end by 5 points over Celtic. And at the bottom, it's Hibernian who go into the playoff on goal difference. They finish on 38 points along with Motherwell. Kilmarnock just 1 point clear. All three matches involving the clubs in danger finishing in draws this afternoon. A week after that, it's our big day, of course, live on Grandstand from Scotland, live from Ibrox, the cup final, Kilmarnock against Falkirk, and then that night, highlights not only of Kilmarnock-Falkirk, but England-South Africa. Then it's international.
The save that means Kilmarnock can now concentrate on the cup final. Kilmarnock's draw with Celtic in midweek meant they knew a win over Aberdeen would be enough to allow them to concentrate totally on the cup final a fortnight today. As it turned out, a draw was enough. The story now from David Tanner.
Well, congratulations to Kilmarnock. Their place in the Premier Division is guaranteed for a fifth successive season thanks to a 1-1 draw here at Rugby Park with Aberdeen. The Dons could have taken the lead in the middle of the first half, and a superb reflex save by Dragije Lekovic kept Billy Dodds. Kilmarnock didn't learn any lessons from that let-off, and just a few minutes later, Dodds was again unmarked in the box, and this time his header beat Lekovic after the cross from the right by Joe Miller. So Kilmarnock had goal down at half-time, but they kept their heads and got the equaliser that keeps them in the top flight in the 73rd minute of this game here. It was created by Jim McIntyre, and his cross was headed past Stilly by Gary Holt. Rugby Park erupted when news of Hibs' plight came through, but that was nothing compared to the reaction when the full-time whistle went at this game. It meant that Bobby Williamson and his players could celebrate avoiding the playoffs, and now they're the small matter of the Tennent Scottish Cup final in a fortnight's time. Here at Rugby Park, it was Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 1.
Thanks, David. A small matter of a cup final indeed. Charlie, Motherwell, Kilmarnock and Hibs, they've all come from behind today, but it wasn't enough for Hibs.
Well, we spoke about it last night, Jim, and I gave you a politician's answer because I didn't know what would happen. But I was always saying that I always felt they were going to find it difficult to win all three today, end up with 3 draws, and it was, as favourites would be, Hibs. They deserve it. They had an opportunity today to get out of it, and they didn't take it, so they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, Hibernian, it's going to be a tough week for them, Alan.
It's going to be very tough. I'm fed up, Jim, people saying to me Hibs are a Premier League team. Well, they've got 2 games to, convince me and themselves and all their fans that they are a Premier League team. Talked about the chance they had today. Motherwell had the chance to go to Rangers and get a result. They did that. Hibs had also the chance against the other half of the Old Firm against Celtic and didn't do it, and that's why they're in that position, Jim.
Yeah, they may look back to last Sunday, Charlie, and wonder why they didn't put up a better performance.
Well, you need aggression. You've got to show aggression. You need to fight for these points. Hibs lacked it all. Throughout their team last week, lacked aggression and real, mental belief they can do it. And now they're going to suffer, and it'll be a hard task.
Yeah, Well, the Kilmarnock game, they were losing to Aberdeen. Yeah. They managed to get the equaliser, and as we said in the intro, Charlie, they can now concentrate on that cup final.
Well, that's it. I mean, all 3 teams today at one stage were all losing. It was tremendous drama. And it has to be said, if the playoffs were coming to Kilmarnock, it would have been the Thursday before the cup final. Hardly any time to recover from that. And I think the biggest team that could have got something from it today was Kilmarnock, with the cup final just in a couple of weeks' time. Marvellous result for them.
And Dragoje Lekovic has pulled off a fantastic save during this game, Alan, and it's kept them in the game, because I think they were a goal down at this point.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that's a tremendous... It's almost reaction. He's waiting for Billy Dodds to heaad of the ball, and he's trying to make himself out. You know, he's just blocked it by instinct there, and eventually again, you know, there's instances that keep them in the league, and that's just it. It's unfortunate actually that Kilmarnock have been in this position, because they're in a cup final for the first time for 27 years, and nobody's been able to look forward to the cup final yet. Right. Thankfully now, a couple of weeks they can savour it.
Let's have a look at how all those results have left the Premier Division tonight. At the bottom, Kilmarnock on 39, Motherwell on 38, but they have a better goal difference, and that means Hibernian finish in 9th position. Back to Rugby Park now, where Kilmarnock's draw with Aberdeen ensured their Premier League survival next term. After the game, David Tanner spoke to Killie manager Bobby Williamson.
I'm delighted. It's good to see the back of this season, just because we're in a cup final. Because the town's been buzzing for the last couple of weeks with the cup approaching. Yeah, we've had to concentrate on our league situation. We knew we could get down, and we didn't want to be in a position of being relegated and then getting out in a cup final, David. So we can relax now and look forward to the cup and the build-up.
How difficult for you has it been, Bobby, to try and keep the players' minds focused on the cup final that took place today, as opposed to their first appearance at a big one?
It's been very difficult, because all the press I wanted to talk about has been a cup, really. And as I said, it's been hard to get the lads to focus on the league games. We knew the league games were very, very important, but players only play in so many cup finals in their careers, and obviously they're thinking ahead. But as I said, it's been difficult, but we're through it now.
A crowd of over 10,000, made up mostly of fans from Ayrshire, turned out to see if Kilmarnock could get the result they needed to beat the playoffs. Now, Bobby Williamson's side started this one in 4th bottom position, so they started favourites to stay up. That was a good early chance there from Gus McPherson. Aberdeen had a great opportunity to take the lead when Joe Miller crossed for Billy Dodds, and Dragoje Lekovic reacted superbly. And the fans appreciated just how good that save was. Unfortunately for the Yugoslavian goalkeeper, his teammates didn't learn their lesson from that scare, and just a few minutes later, Joe Miller was again in the wing, Dodds again in the box, but this time the goalkeeper is beaten. What a shocker for Kilmarnock. The Dons take the lead in the 34th minute. Billy Dodds giving the Ayrshire side a real headache. Killie's future in the Premier Division now hanging in the balance. Well, the panic lasted until the 28th minute of the second half. That's when local boy Gary Holt made a name for himself. Jim McIntyre, who played with a knee injury, providing the cross. And there's Holt, jumping higher than the defence. One each. The ex-soldier relishing this battle. McIntyre beating Kambware. And Holt gets his first goal for the club. Aberdeen's most expensive signing caused Killie hearts to skip a beat. Lekovic, though, prevented any real damage from occurring there from Paul Bernard's free kick. At the other end, Kilmarnock kept pushing, and when Kambware struggled with Kerr's cross, the chance fell to Mark Riley. And goalie Derek Silly got the touch, which deflected the ball from danger. The Dons living dangerously now, and in the final minutes they were lucky to escape unpunished when John Ingalls brought down Tom Brown in the box. Referee Stuart Dougal didn't award a penalty kick, but Ingalls can perhaps consider himself fortunate after this challenge. But it didn't damage Kilmarnock, and the final whistle was a cue for the loudest sigh of relief you're likely to hear. The point ensuring Kilmarnock stay in the Premier Division for a 5th consecutive season. No playoffs for those fans, no playoffs for Gary Holt there, the goal hero. And congratulations, Bobby Williamson. Kilmarnock stay in the Premier Division.
Good to see the back of this season, just because we're in a cup final. Because the town's been buzzing for the last couple of weeks with the cup approaching. Yeah, we've had to concentrate on our league situation. We knew we could get down, and we didn't want to be in a position of being relegated and then getting out in a cup final, David. So we can relax now and look forward to the cup and the build-up.
Guaranteed survival. Gary Holt's equaliser against Aberdeen was equally crucial for Kilmarnock. They're in the cup final, but there was a chance they'd be relegated. As it was, their 1-1 draw at Rugby Park was enough to keep their Premier place. Delight and relief for everyone at Killie.
The big question at 3 o'clock on Saturday was who would be stuck in the Premier Division glue pot come 20-5. Kilmarnock, Motherwell and Hibs were all staring playoffs in the face, so it made for an interesting afternoon. First to Kilmarnock, where all thoughts of the cup final were put to one side. The more pressing matter on Saturday, a future in the top division. Half an hour in, Billy Dodds stuck a spanner in the works. But Gary Holt headed this equaliser 17 minutes from time. Killie were safe. 10,000 sighs of relief at Rugby Park. Up in Lanark.
So Motherwell safe. What about Kilmarnock? This could prove to have been a vital save. The ball comes over, great header by Billy Dodds and a fantastic save by Dragoje Likovic. Aberdeen took the lead in 33 minutes though. This time Dodds' header well beyond the goalkeeper. And that caused problems for Kilmarnock. Could they get back into this game? Well, it took them until 17 minutes from full time. When the ball comes across, there's Gary Holt with the header. And that is the goal that keeps Kilmarnock in the Premier League and out of the playoffs. Next stop, the Tennant Scottish Cup final. Hugh, at various points on Saturday, 3 teams were in that playoff position. One of them was Kilmarnock, and thanks to this Gary Holt equaliser, they have avoided it.
Well, the boys get a sense of occasion, you've got to say that. His first ever goal for Kilmarnock, and arguably the most important of the club's recent history, because the loss, the financial loss of going down to the First Division is catastrophic.
Yeah, and of course they can now concentrate on the cup final in a fortnight.
Must make them feel better.
Yeah.